was trying to get it, have you help me put it on this morning for my hair appointment. I had to rush around.
Oh.
I've been keeping my bracelets up. I just had one in your bathroom.
Oh. Good afternoon, guys. Just for time constraint, I'm not going to wait for everybody to get on because I want to make sure that I'm able to get through everything today quickly. Please pray my strength in the Lord as I'm still preparing for guests. Pretty much everything is done. It's just tidying up the house one more time, making sure things are put away so it's not super clustered, and just preparing for, where the beds are going to go and things like that. So just keep me in prayer. All right, so we left off yesterday with Job chapter 14. So we're going to go ahead and read Job 15 through 19. 15 through 19. And let me press mute on this because we don't need that sound. And then we are going to go and grab my notes for Job. Make it big. Okay. All right, so let's go. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, should a wise man answer with empty knowledge and fill himself with the east wind? Should he reason with unprofitable talk, or by speeches, which he can do no good? Yes, you cast off fear and restrain prayer before God. For your iniquity teaches your mouth, and you choose the tongue of the crafty. Your own mouth condemns you and not I. Yes, your own lips testify against you. Are you the first man who was born? Or were you made before the hills? Have you ever heard the counsel of God? Do you limit wisdom to yourself? What do you know that we do not know? What do you understand that is not in us? Both the gray-haired and the aged are among us, much older than you and your father. Much older than your father, sorry. Are the constellations of God too small for you, and the words spoken gently with you? Why does your heart carry you away, and what do your eyes wink at? That you turn your spirit against God and let such words go out of your mouth. What is man that he could be pure, and he who is born of a woman that he could be righteous? If God puts no trust in his saints, and the heavens are not pure in his sight, how much less man who is abominable and filthy, who drinks iniquity like water? Verse 17, I will tell you, hear me. What I have seen, I will declare. What wise men have told, not hiding anything received from their fathers, to whom alone the land was given, and no alien passed among them. The wicked man wreathes in pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden from the oppressor. Dreadful sounds are in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer comes upon him. He does not believe that he will return from darkness, for a sword is waiting for him. He wanders about for bread, saying, where is it? He knows that a day of darkness is ready at his hand. Trouble and anguish make him afraid. They overpower him like a king ready for battle, for he stretches out his hand against God and acts defiantly against the mighty, running stubbornly against him with his strong embossed shield. Though he has covered his face with his fatness and made his waist heavy with fat, he dwells in desolate cities, in houses which no one inhabits, which are destined to become ruins. He will not be rich, nor will his wealth continue, nor will his possessions overspread the earth. He will not depart from darkness. The flame will dry out his branches, and by the breath of his mouth he will go astray. Let him not trust in futile things, deceiving himself, for futility will be his reward. It will be accomplished before his time, and his branch will not be green. He will shake off his unripe grape like a vine, and cast off his blossom like an olive tree. For the company of hypocrites will be barren, and fire will consume the tents of bribery. They conceive trouble and bring forth futility. Their womb prepares deceit. Chapter 16. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are you all. Shall words of wind have an end, or what provokes you that you answer? I also could speak as you do. If your soul were in my soul's place, I could heap up words against you and shake my head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the comfort of my lips would relieve your grief. Though I speak, my grief is not relieved, and if I remain silent, how am I eased? But now he has worn me out. You have made me desolate, all my company. Made desolate all my company. You have shriveled me up, and it is a witness against me. My leanness rises up against me and bears witness to my face. He tears me in his wrath and hates me. He gnashes at me with his teeth. My adversary sharpens his gaze on me. They gape at me with their mouth. They strike me reproachfully on the cheek. They gather together against me. God has delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over to the hands of the wicked. That's powerful. I was at ease, but he has shattered me. He also has taken me by the neck and shaken me to pieces. He has set me up for his target. His archers surround me. He pierces my heart and does not pity. He pours out my gall on the ground. Sound familiar? He breaks me with wound upon wound. He runs at me like a warrior. I have sewn sackcloth over my skin and laid my head in the dust. My face is flushed from weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. Although no violence is in my hands and my prayer is pure, O earth, do not cover my blood and let my cry have no resting place. Surely even now my witness is in heaven and my evidence is on high. My friends scorn me, my eyes pour out tears to God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God, as a man pleads for his neighbor. For when a few years are finished, I shall go the way of no return. Chapter 17. My spirit is broken, my days are extinguished, the grave is ready for me. Are not mockers with me, and does not my eye dwell on their provocation? Now put down a pledge for me with yourself. Who is he who will shake hands with me? For you have hidden their heart from understanding. Therefore you will not exalt them. He who speaks flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children will fail. But he has made me a byword of the people, and I have become one in whose face men spit. My eye has grown dim because of sorrow, and all of my members are like shadows. Upright men are astonished at this, and the innocent stirs himself against the hypocrite. Yet the righteous will hold to his way, and he who has clean hands will be stronger and stronger. But please come back again, all of you, for I shall not find one wise man among you. My days are past, my purposes are broken off, even the thoughts of my heart. They change the night into day. The light is near, they say, in the face of darkness. If I wait for the grave as my house, if I make my bed in the darkness, if I say to corruption, you are my father, and to the worm, you are my mother and my sister, where then is my hope? As for my hope, who can see it? Will they go down to the gates of Sheol? Shall we have rest together in the dust? Revelations about, Chapter 18. Then Bildad the Shuahite answered and said, how long till you put an end to words? Gain understanding, and afterward we will speak. Why are we counted as beasts and regarded as stupid in your sight? You who tear yourself in anger, shall the earth be forsaken for you, or shall the rock be removed from its place? The light of the wicked indeed goes out, and the flame of his fire does not shine. The light is dark in his tent, and his lamp beside him is put out. The steps of his strength are shortened, and his own counsel casts him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walks into a snare. The net takes him by the heel, and a snare lays hold of him. A noose is hidden for him on the ground, and a trap for him in the road. Terrors frighten him on every side and drive him to his feet. His strength is starved, and destruction is ready at his side. It devours patches of his skin. The firstborn of death devours his limbs. He is uprooted from the shelter of his tent, and they parade him before the king of terrors. They dwell in his tent, who are none of his. Brimstone is scattered on his dwelling. His roots are dried out below, and his branch withers above. The memory of him perishes from the earth, and he has no name among the renowned. He is driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He has neither son nor posterity among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Those in the west are astonished at this day, and those in the east are frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him who does not know God. Chapter 19. Then Job answered and said, How long will you torment my soul and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times you have reproached me. You are not ashamed that you wronged me, and if indeed I have erred, my error remains with me. If indeed you exalt yourselves against me and plead my disgrace against me. Know then that God has wronged me and has surrounded me with his net. If I cry out concerning wrong, I am not heard. If I cry aloud, there is no justice. He has fenced up my way so that I cannot pass, and he has set darkness in my paths. He has stripped me of my glory and taken the crown from my head. He breaks me down on every side, and I am gone. My hope he has uprooted like a tree. He has also kindled his wrath against me, and he counts me as one of his enemies. His troops come together and build up their road against me. They encamp all around my tent. He has removed my brothers far from me, and my acquaintances are completely estranged from me. Verse 14, my relatives have failed, and my close friends have forgotten me. Those who dwell in my house and my maidservants count me as a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. I call my servant, but he gives no answer. I beg him with my mouth. My breath is offensive to my wife, and I am repulsive to the children of my own body. Even young children despise me. I arise, and they speak against me. All my close friends abhor me, and those who I love have turned against me. My bone clings to my skin and to my flesh, and I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. Have pity on me, O you, my friends, for the hand of God has struck me. Why do you persecute me as God does? Are you not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were written. Oh, that they were inscribed in a book. That they were engraved on a rock with an iron pen and lead forever. For I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on the earth. And after my skin is destroyed, this I know, that in my flesh I shall see God, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold, and not another. How my heart yearns within me. If you should say, how shall we persecute him, since the root of the matter is found in me? Be afraid of the sword for yourselves, for wrath brings the punishment of the sword, that you may know there is a judgment. That is so, so, so powerful. Okay, so the breakdown. Chapter 15, harsh judgment grows where compassion fails. Eliphaz speaks again, this time more aggressively, accusing Job of arrogance and implying that suffering proves that he's wicked. This chapter reveals that misunderstanding often becomes more forceful when it's challenged. Instead of softening, Eliphaz doubles down. His theology becomes more rigid and less compassionate. Human reasoning hardens when it resists correction. The devotional truth of this chapter is that not all spiritual authority reflects the heart of the Father. The leadership truth, leaders must guard against becoming harsh when they're being challenged. And the leadership nuggets, the extra nuggets, defensiveness can replace discernment. Repetition does not make things true. Misjudgment often increases, especially under pressure. Compassion must remain stronger than correction. Job 16. Pain deepens when others misunderstood. Job responds by calling his friends miserable comforters. He expresses that their words have only added to his suffering. This chapter reveals that misunderstood pain can feel heavier than the pain itself. Job turns again to God, recognizing that only God truly sees his situation. El Roy. God remains the true witness when others misjudge. The devotional truth of this chapter is that God understands what others cannot see. And I'm just going to say even what others don't have the capacity to see, because some people they don't have the capacity. The leadership truth of this chapter is that leaders must avoid adding weight to someone who's already burdened. And we know that. It says, "Come to me, those who are heavy laden and burdened with sin, and I will give you rest." So that's the gospel. Leadership nuggets, the extra nuggets. Words can either heal or wound deeply. Listening is more powerful than lecturing. God sees what others cannot interpret. Compassion reduces suffering, and judgment multiplies it. Job 17, hope feels distant, but it is not gone. Job continues in despair, speaking about brokenness, misunderstanding, and the nearness of death. Yet even in darkness, he continues speaking. He does not withdraw from God. This chapter reveals that hope doesn't always feel strong, but it persists quietly. Job's honesty reflects his exhaustion, but it does not reflect abandonment from the Lord. God sustains faith even when our hope feels faint. The devotional truth of this chapter is that hope may feel distant, but it is not destroyed. And the leadership truth is that leaders must continue forward even when they're discouraged internally. The leadership nuggets of this chapter is that emotional exhaustion does not equal defeat. Continuing to speak to God sustains our faith. Dark seasons do not cancel the purposes of God on our lives. And persistent matters when your energy is low. Just so that you know, they're kind of doing not vacuuming, mowing late today, but I'm kind of glad that they are because guests are going to be here and the grass is like high from all the rain. So I'm just grateful that it's green out there because we were kind of in a drought and things were yellow for a season. So I'm just like, yes, everything is green. Green means life. Okay, Job chapter 18, fear-based theology intensifies pain. Bildad speaks again, describing the fate of the wicked in graphic detail, implying that Job's suffering proves he fits that description. This chapter reveals how fear-based theology misrepresents God. I call it the fear gospel because it's not the truth. Bildad focuses on punishment rather than purpose, missing the reality of Job's situation entirely. Fear-driven teaching distorts the character of God. The devotional truth of this chapter is that God is not reduced to formulas of punishment. And the leadership truth is that leaders must avoid projecting assumptions onto others because of their suffering. The leadership nuggets of this chapter: fear produces distorted conclusions. Misapplied scripture harms instead of bringing healing. Leaders must speak from truth and not just reactions. Discernment requires humility. Job chapter 19. Faith rises above pain with unshakable hope. Job responds with deep anguish, but suddenly makes a powerful declaration. And guys, I can relate to that. I know y'all can relate to that, where you're like down, like in the gutter of things, right? And just having like, getting ready to have a woe is me pity party. And then all of a sudden, hope springs forth. The word of God springs forth. You get encouraged. You go into prayer discouraged, and you come out, on top of the world because you feel like the Lord spoke. This is where Job was, in anguish. And then he says, I know that my Redeemer lives, and that's where Nicole C. Mullen got that song from. I know my Redeemer lives. I think that's Nicole C. Mullen. This chapter reveals a major turning point. Faith rises above circumstance and anchors itself in eternal truth. Job still hurts, but now he expresses confidence in God beyond his situation. He took his eyes off the problem, put his eyes on the Father. True faith looks beyond present suffering into eternal redemption. The devotional truth of this chapter is that our Redeemer lives even when our lives feel broken. Everything may not be put together, but he's still God, no matter what. The leadership truth of this chapter is that leaders must anchor their hope in God and not in their circumstances. That's maturity. And the leadership nuggets of this chapter is that faith can rise even in deep pain. Eternal perspective strengthens present endurance. Truth becomes stronger than feeling, and leaders must speak hope even when they're in a struggle. These chapters reveal the deepening tension and the rising faith. Chapter 15, misunderstood theology becomes harsher. 16, pain intensifies through misjudgment. 17, hope feels distant but remains. 18, fear-based thinking distorts the truth. 19, faith rises into confident hope. As suffering deepens, human reasoning becomes more flawed, but faith begins to rise above it. Job's journey shows that even when everything external is collapsing all around, internal faith can grow stronger, shifting from questioning to confident hope in God as Redeemer. The leadership takeaway for all 5 chapters is that godly leaders remain compassionate under pressure. They avoid misjudging others' suffering. They continue seeking God even in discouragement, reject fear-based conclusions, and anchor hope with eternal truth. Faith matures when it moves from needing the answers to holding on to God despite not having them. Amen. Nina, I never saw your email, so you're going to have to post your email again. I just saw your comment. Please put your email so I can email you and give you my phone number so you can call me again. I tried texting the other phone numbers and I couldn't get you still. And you're not on Facebook, so just email me or put your email down, and I'll email you. Okay, let me see if anybody else commented. See if I messed it up. We are in Job. Job chapter 15 through 19 is what we're reading. Name, fame, and money, every need. I don't know about that one. Nope, all I see is hi Annie, and then do you see it? I don't see the actual email posted. I wonder if maybe YouTube is trying to take it off. That's weird. Why don't you write my email down and just email me? Maybe that'll be better, because it should be putting it in the comments, but it's not. That's weird. It's Marquita, Marquita, equipped, Equipped, at yahoo.com. So you can just email me. Because for whatever reason, it's not showing. Okay, keep Linda in prayer, because I know that there's some things going on with her daughter, Sharice. Keep Teresa in prayer. There's things going on with her son. Keep Annie in prayer. There's things going on with her mom. Keep Herman in prayer. And I will continue to keep Nina in prayer. So yeah. Yes, I've been blocking anyone on YouTube that is doing the most. So if I need to, I will block them, especially if they're cussing or anything else like that. It doesn't let me block them while we're live for some reason, but I can go back and catch the replay, and then I just go through and block the people that were commenting weird stuff that did not pertain to the lesson or curse words. I know some of them are bots. Now there's this whole thing where bots will come and do something that's completely controversial. I don't know why that happens, but anywho. Oh, wow. I did not know that. I just literally talked to her probably not even a few weeks ago, and she told me that she was fine. I asked her how she was doing in her health, so she must have went on to be with the Lord in a very peaceful manner. Oh, I'm so sad. I love her so much. Wow. Yeah, she just tagged me in some things that are going on here in San Antonio, and I inboxed her and asked her how she was doing. And it's been a while since I had a phone call with her, but, she said she's been doing fine. So it had to be that she went on to be with the Lord in a healthy way, because, she was a very strong woman of God. So I'm definitely going to miss her. Wow. That is crazy. That is so crazy. I'm going to miss her. I might have to inbox maybe her family, maybe her daughters have access to her stuff and see, how they're doing and offer support in whatever ways that I can. But thanks for telling me, because I didn't know. And yes, I'm always praying for your mom and you, Brother Herman. All is well. You'll have to go back through the replay and just replay it, and you'll be able to write it down. I don't want to say it too many times because I don't want hackers getting in my email. So, but it'll be on the replay. I wish there was a way for me to cut just that part, cut it out, but I don't think that I can. But yeah, there's weirdos that come through the YouTube. Some of them I think are real people, but I think a lot of them are hackers or bots, or I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep her in prayer. And like I said, keep Annie in prayer. Her mom is in the hospital right now. And keep Sharice in prayer. There's some things going on in her body right now. She needs all the intercession on healing. And Teresa, they're still trying to take her son, and they're trying to strip her of all her rights as a mom. So keep her in prayer. And then her daughter lost the child, so keep her daughter in prayer as well. Her name is, I can't even think of her daughter's name right this moment, but definitely keep Teresa and her family in prayer. And then, what else? We have the graduation this weekend. Lots of families coming down. So just prayers for traveling mercies over them as they're coming and as they're going. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I love you guys. I'm trying to make my rounds to make sure that I check in with everyone before it gets kind of crazy. So just, pay attention to your phones. I love you guys. I pray that you were blessed by the message today. And it's definitely fitting, for this time frame. And it's also a reminder for us to stay balanced in the way that we think and the way that we process things, and to not be quick to judge, when people are going through hard times, and to be more supportive, even if it's just showing up and not saying much. Sometimes that's probably better than saying something. So yeah, I love you guys. I pray that you are blessed, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm still going to go live tomorrow. I cannot promise you I will read. Depends on how crazy things are tomorrow. If I can't read Job 20 to 24, I'll at least give y'all the recap tomorrow at noon. So I will see you guys at noon, and prayerfully we can still read the whole chapters, because I enjoy doing that. And it holds me accountable too, guys. I need to be held accountable too. So this really helps me as much as it's helping you guys. So anyways, I love y'all, and I will talk to you later, and have a good rest of your day.